I have only one small correction to your auction report, Casey. There was one grand omission, and that was a certain head of the whole event named Casey Flesh. So I come to you as a balanced candidate, and what I mean by that is, got 4 kids. One of them graduated from OSU, and one of them is in law school at the University of Oregon.
Yeah!
Just trying to cover all the bases there. Have a son who retired from Intel, and then one daughter who went astray and lives in Boston. My husband back there is PCP in Precinct 151. And he's put up with me for 34 years, so that's pretty. I am a fiscal conservative. That is the core of what I'm all about in this particular campaign. I was born and reared in Kansas, and then I went astray and went to Texas A&M, where I got my doctorate. That was in administration, and actually being a Texas Aggie is not all that bad. I'm a former dean of business schools, did that for quite some time in my life. In fact, 32 years as a faculty member in business schools. So one of my goals now is to apply what I know about business into the world where I would like to be a part now. I got to tell you, one of my colleges where we were particularly known for entrepreneurship teaching, I said we should really practice what we teach, not just what we preach. And that was, of course, all about innovation. So we then became named as one of the top 18 in the world for innovation. Yeah. So in the world is Karen Bowerman running for Congress. Well, really there are several reasons. One is I've really thought about doing this for a long, long time. But this is the time in my life where I can do it. Remember all those kids? I didn't want to do that when they were young. Live half of my life in Washington, D.C. and spend the rest of my time on the airplane moving back and forth between here and
D.C. New York and D.C.
And he has a house in Connecticut. But anyway, I think that this is the time in my life. And I noticed too, speaking of Kurt Schrader, that the description of the district now is 52% Democrat and 48% Republican, which makes it second only in Oregon to Greg Walden's district, where there is majority Republican. Make this work. I also feel a responsibility to serve. That has been a driving factor in my life always, and I'm very, very concerned about our direction as a country. Economic indicator analysis has been my life, and so I've always paid attention to these indicators, and I really don't like the direction they're going. It's like what Sonia said at a meeting, where did Margie go? That was at one of Margie's meetings. When we look at what's happened with our debt, for instance, just 1982, we were the #1 creditor nation, and today we are the #1 debtor nation. That is something that really needs to be fixed. But I've got questions. Why is it that Oregon's created an environment for business to move away from the state? I've been interviewing people who have done that or in the process of doing it, and it's not a good picture. Why are younger Oregonians not educated to the same level as us older Oregonians? Why is it that Oregonians are decreasing in wealth and earning less than our neighbors in other states? In 1990, we were number 22 in the nation. Now we're number 31. Not good. Well, I've got a few answers and a few plans, but you got to hear more than the 6-minute speech for that. Now, I say that if we could just embrace all of this county or all of this state or all of this nation, what we all ought to say is, wake up, America. Yeah. We need to keep liberty as we know it, right there within our reach. And you know, there is a vision for this country. We all have a desire to pass it on to our children in excellent top shape, don't we? To align that vision, though, with action, first we've got to control spending. As I think about the root cause of many of our problems, I know that my budget can't follow the federal model and the federal model can't follow the federal model. Wake up, America.
Yeah.
We must beware of false leadership, because what false leadership does is to mouth one thing and then vote differently. It borrows trillions and trillions more and more to fund big government and more stimulus money or more cap and trade, moving us the opposite direction of that very clear vision that we really have for the future. It is about doing the right thing for liberty, for jobs, for results, and doing it with integrity. And those are the standards upon which I would like to be evaluated at the end of my two-year term. Karen Bowerman, Clackamas County PCP and candidate for U.S. Congress. There you go.